everyone, and welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is a series where you get to talk a little bit about and touch base upon various mythological creatures, beast, beings, and the like, pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying that I am not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything, I apologize in advance. And today for episode 152, I wanted to talk about a monstrous creature that comes from South American mythology. This is the Ao. And the Ao in the lore is actually a son of two other notable characters, the Tau and the Karana. Yeah. Hopefully I pronounced those correctly. And essentially he was an accursed son that becomes this monstrous entity and plagues humanity. And the Ao ends up becoming pretty much a central mythological creature in this belief system that, or among the Guarani speaking cultures that are located in South America. And what is the Ao essentially? Well, there are two big descriptions that are utilized. The first, and probably the little one that's a little more popular, is that the Ao is this voracious, this huge, hungering, sheep-like creature with a massive set of fangs. The alternative description is that the Ao is this large carnivorous peccary, which is a South American creature that, again, hunts through the forest and the hills to consume its victims. And the victims are typically humans, but we'll get to that in a moment. The name Ao is derived from the sound it supposedly makes, this kind of howling sound. It'll scream Ao, Ao, Ao as it's running through, again, the forest and the hills where it lives in the pursuit of its next victim. So if you hear a sound anything similar to that, run. I'll actually, there's even a better way. Running doesn't help. We'll get to that also in a moment. But the Ao is considered to be a very reproductive or highly reproductive creature. And because of that, it is often considered or related to a spirit of fertility. Now, the Ao has lots and lots of sons, and many of them still have his accursed nature, and but of his children, a lot of them become lords or considered lords and protectors of, again, the hills and the mountainsides which the Ao lives. And going back to the poor people who live also in those areas, the Ao is considered to be a cannibal. And it's interesting because though its descriptions have nothing to do with a person, it is considered to be kind of half human by birth, and so the fact that it hunts down and feeds on humans, and actually humans are its preferred diet, that's why it's considered to be a cannibal. Now, the Ao will select a victim, and that poor victim is essentially doomed because the Ao will pursue its victim relentlessly, and it doesn't matter the distance or the terrain, but he will continue to hunt its chosen victim until it successfully captures, kills, and feeds upon it. There are many stories where people will try to climb trees to escape from the Ao, and unfortunately, more often than not, this does not end well, because when a person is hiding up in the trees, and yes, they may be out of the grasp of the Ao, the creature itself will begin to dig up the tree and from the roots, and it will continue to do so until it upends the tree and captures and feeds upon its victims. The only way that is noted to successfully escape from the Ao, once it has selected you as the victim, is to climb a palm tree, specifically a palm tree. For whatever reason, there are these unknown properties in palm trees that are supposed to kind of keep the Ao at bay, and once the creature realizes that you are in the tree, it'll probably scream in fury, run around the tree a little while, but then give up and go on and find another victim to hunt down. So that is the only noted case where the Ao does not successfully capture its chosen victims. So note that one. Now, a couple other things about the creature. It is said to consume clothes as well, so a lot of the victims will probably have nothing left behind. They just essentially disappear because the Ao will eat flesh as well as clothing. And other thing I thought was kind of interesting is there is some kind of preference or some sub-stories where they talk about how the Aoeos like to go after disobedient children. Now, in that sense, it does remind me a little bit of the boogeyman archetype, where the boogeyman is any kind of creature, essentially entity, that is utilized to scare children into doing good things and avoid dangerous things. So they've been used to, depending on the creature, to avoid fast-moving streams of water or being disobedient and stuff like that. And so in that sense, it does remind me of a entity that potentially could fall into the boogeyman, the overarching idea of the boogeyman kind of category. But if you have any questions about this or anything else, post them in the comments below or reach out to me on any of my social media. And until next time, everyone, Skål.